the migration and asylum policy of the European Union and the individual European countries is not a policy of success. Since 2016, the EU countries and the EU have been bickering about how to deal with an increasing number of migrants to Europe. Of course, there is not an invasion from Africa or other continents, but some politicians in European countries such as Hungary and Poland talk up such an invasion, and their population or some of their populations are respective and responsive to that kind of sloganeering. Something needs to be done, and what has been done recently on the 8th of June of this year is that there was a summit in Luxembourg where a radical breakthrough was sort of achieved, at least when we compare it to the policy of the EU previously. And this new policy is supposed to make it more coherent among the European countries how they deal with migrants from outside Europe. And there will be a cap on numbers they are obliged to take, so a quota will have been introduced. And if countries don't wish to observe that quota, they will have to pay up to 20,000 euro per head of migrants who come into Europe. And that is, of course, painful and will provide a budget for the European Union to deal with migration issue. Shortly after that summit, Ursula von der Leyen, the EU Commission President, went to Tunisia and offered 1 billion euros to the Tunisian government if it kept its borders closed, if it prevented migrants from reaching the European Union. And this is a continuation of the policy of the past, because a similar deal had been struck with Turkey a few years ago. So that encourages countries not to let migrants come to Europe, but keep them in their own borders. What it totally ignores is, of course, the fate of the individual migrants. Because whether these migrants have a future in Tunisia and Turkey is very questionable. And also their treatment in these countries, and as well as at border stations in the EU, is also very questionable. So the EU policy needs to be severely criticized. They are trying, but at the moment, the difficulties of integrating migrants into Europe is still facing severe problems, not least because there are almost 4 million Ukrainian refugees in Europe, and they need to be dealt with as well. And a lot of countries feel that they are overburdened by migrants from outside Europe. This may objectively not be correct, but subjectively, that is the general feeling which is espoused by politicians in a great many European countries.